Hello everybody, this is TheAireaidLord. Thank you all for watching this video. I have returned from PAX East 2015. Yesterday I officially returned from it. I only got the Saturday pass. I was going to make this vlog last night while this was all fresh in my head. This might not be as fresh as it could be, but I'm definitely going to try my best here. I was just so tired last night after traveling into the city of Boston for this convention. And I just needed the rest, and so on and so forth in that regard. So this video, if you're looking at the title, you obviously know that there's a bit of controversy at this year's PAX, and it wasn't just me who was feeling this. I did talk to other people at the convention, and I kind of got this consensus, and some people didn't even notice because they liked the other aspects of it. Because PAX East is not just about one aspect, it offers many different things. So some people could have gone to this convention and not experienced any of this. But for somebody who goes and expects a certain thing every year, this was definitely, I'd have to say, one of the most disappointing PAX East I've ever gone to. Okay, this was definitely a horrible convention. Like, I've been to many conventions, alright, over the years. And this one, by far, with the expectations that I had, definitely was just shit, okay, just to put it as bluntly as I can. And to give you a brief history, I have gone to PAX East every year since 2012. I went to PAX East 2012, 2013, 2014, and now I've just recently gone to 2015. So I've got 4 PAX Easts under my belt, okay? I've gone only one day. On the Saturday, I get a one-day pass. I go, I bring my camera, this camera, I bring a strap, I strap the camera around my neck, I go around, I film the new games, I film kind of the new things that are going on. They could be big games. I don't usually film the small games, the indie stuff, but I usually film the new stuff that's coming out for the third-party consoles, for, Xbox and PlayStation and, Nintendo. Those are the things that I film. And I basically look at people playing the game, I'll film people talking about the game, and then I'll come back and put it up on YouTube. I enjoy listening to the new information about the game as well as recording it. I come back, I put it on YouTube, and it's a nice way for people to kind of consume that information. And I get some, good viewership out of it, and people always love to see the traveling and the vlogs that I have every year. Okay? Now, what I just explained to you, the main reason I go to PAX is to film these new games. Now, let me just preface by saying that not everybody may go to PAX for the same reasons, okay? Some people might go for the indie games. Some people might go for the tabletop games. Some people might go for the panels. Some people might go for the competitions, the tournaments. Some people might just go to play free play games. That's completely fine. And the good thing about this convention is that there's many different things to do. There's many different appeals. There's not just one thing. It's not some giant mass media thing. Penny Arcade Expo started as a small indie festival, and only over the past couple of years has it turned into a kind of large mass media kind of cultural event where it's kind of taken up more of the reins of different other conventions. There's a lot more kind of stardom from other people at these types of events. Okay? Now, I went to this convention, PAX East 2015. I went with my friend Jack, who's been in my Walking Dead reviews, if you guys have seen those on my channel. He went with me to this, and I basically went to this event expecting the same thing that I always expect from PAX East, okay? I expect that obviously there's going to be, a good variety of game developers at this event showing, stuff on the showroom floor, and that they will have a diversity of content, and that I will basically, be able to walk around, just like I said, just like previous PAX, be able to walk around, see the games, film them, and blah, blah, blah. Some people do have a problem with filming stuff, but I usually kind of try to work within the means of the regulations. If it's a closed door, kind of, you have to wait in a line kind of thing, usually they tell you not to film, but, you have to kind of work your way with that and kind of figure out the rules, kind of test the waters and stuff, and which is what I've done at previous PAXs. Last year, for example, my most popular video on YouTube was a video of Watch Dogs gameplay, like 2 months before the game came out at PAX, and it got 122,000 views, and it was a pretty big explosion, something I wasn't even expecting. I didn't think people would want to see the Watch Dogs footage. I thought there had been enough Watch Dogs footage from E3 and other conventions. I didn't think PAX would be something that people would go to look for that. So I was pleasantly surprised by the turnout for those views. But so I went to this PAX, okay, and now I do have this. I will show this on camera real quick. This is the PAX East 2015 guidebook. This is, you know, you get this when you walk in. It's a directory. It tells you what's going on, so on and so forth. I would like to show you the exhibits that they had. Bandland, BioWare Base, Diversity Lounge, Expo Hall, Machinima, Merchandise, Polaris, Tabletops, and so on and so forth. Now, let me just show this before I read it, okay? If you guys, I'll move it slowly if you guys want to pause the video at any time to take a look at specifically the exhibitors who were at PAX East, okay? Now I'm just going to read these off. So we've got, starting in the upper left, not counting indie developers, we've got Hi-Res Studios, Alienware, Capcom, Twitch, Blizzard, Gungo Online, Greybox, Turbine, Astro Gaming, Bitbox, Disruptor Beam, Microsoft, Wargaming, it's kind of the Wargaming booth, Wargaming America, the Behemoth, which I believe they made Castle Crashers, ArenaNet, Motiga, the Oculus Rift, the Oculus Virtual Reality being made by Facebook, Microsoft, Intel, Logitech, Newegg, Undead Labs, YouTube, HyperX, Nintendo, which is a complete fucking lie because Nintendo did not go to this event, as I will soon tell you. Square Enix, another merchandise booth, 505 Games, and then Rooster Teeth had something in the back. And what I just named to you was pretty much it. Now, there are a lot of indie developers here, and there's actually, you know what? I never noticed this before. Hold on. If you guys look right here, where my thumb is, okay? It says, I don't know if you can read that, the India Mega Booth. It's a huge, and you know what? I'd be interested in going back. I don't know if I have it. Aha, I do it. I had PAX East 2014. Alright, I have the PAX East 2014 guidebook right here. Alright, I'm going to go and compare the, I'm going to go compare the pages here. Let's see. So I'm going to guess they're on the same page here. Oh, yes they are. The Indian Mega Booth was the same. Let's see. So you got Bethesda at this one. There was another India Mega Booth. Yeah, so if you'd like to compare, let's see. I guess you guys can compare. Alright. I'm just looking at this one. This is PAX East 2014 right here. Okay? Just for comparison's sake. Now, looking at it, looking at just the overview of the showroom floor, it does not, from afar, it does not look like it's that much different from the PAX East 2015 book. However, actually being on the showroom floor is totally different. Let me tell you right now, without going on too much longer, let me tell you right now what was actually on the showroom floor in terms of like big developers, new games, not counting indie stuff, okay? You have Microsoft, as I mentioned. They were showing off Halo 5 Guardians, which was it wasn't anything new. It was basically, they had lines for people to play the arena multiplayer, but it's that I already have gameplay of that. I've already uploaded that on my channel. That was back when they were testing it, the multiplayer part that was included with the Master Chief Collection. They already had that. It's already been done. Obviously, this is a chance to play it again, but I didn't want to sit in line because I've already played Halo 5 a good amount of hours. I have gameplay of it for my top 5 series already for Halo 5. It's not something that I wanted to sit in line for. I didn't even need gameplay of it because I've already seen Halo 5. Okay? You had Battlefield Hardline, which that is another game that has already had a multiplayer kind of beta to test the game. They've already had this. What they were showing was no different than what's already been released. Okay? And so that was pretty much it. What I just mentioned to you. Anything else at the Microsoft booth were games that have already come out, such as Evolve, such as, what are the games? There was Evolve, there was State of Decay, there were a couple, but there wasn't anything that was new. They were just there so that you could play them, and Microsoft was showing nothing new. All they were doing was advertising, because, you know, obviously everyone knows how much Microsoft loves to fucking advertise. If you watch The Walking Dead, every fucking episode it's like, oh, Microsoft Surface fucking presents. They're always trying to advertise and shove their shit down your throat. So I wasn't too surprised that they were at PAX East, because they weren't showing anything new. All they were showing, yeah, technically Halo 5 is new, but it was stuff that we've already seen before from the game. It wasn't anything new. You could play it, that's great, but there was no new content with it. Okay? And so that was it. There were no other new games. The only other new things that were there that I was thinking of sitting in line for, and my friend Jack was sitting in line for, was the Oculus Rift, which had a pretty big line. That was the big kind of virtual reality thing that Facebook's been doing. Okay? And then the other thing was the Behemoth Studio, or the Behemoth exhibit. Because apparently they have a new game. They're the people that make Castle Crashers, and they have a new title coming out. Okay? But that was it. Other than that, there were no new games being shown. Okay? And one of the reasons this is the most baffling is because there's a huge number of games that are coming out between now and E3, okay? You got Bloodborne, okay? The Order 1886 just came out, alright? Arkham Knight and The Witcher 3, those games come out before E3. So even if you wanted to save all of this, you know, reveals for E3, these games are already slated to be released before E3 even happens. So what's the point? It's just going to be like The Last of Us. If anyone remembers, The Last of Us came out the week of E3. So, you know, they had gameplay and stuff, but the game was out by the time E3 had occurred. So there was no point, you know? So for me, I'm looking at all of this, and I'm walking around, and I'm just like, you know, I'm slowly but surely realizing I have nothing to film. Nothing really to film for my channel. And I know I could have filmed the indie booths, but it's nothing that I really know, and it's nothing really, I don't think any of my fans would really be that interested in seeing. I'm trying to capture the media stuff. The big third-party publishers, the big games. I'm trying to, stuff that I'm interested in playing. I know people have, obviously, an interest in indie games, but I'm not someone who has that great of an interest in them. So I'm not going to make 100 videos of me filming all these different indie games. These indie games have been at almost every single convention I've gone, even conventions that aren't PAX. You know, Too Many Games, MagFest, those had indie games. Almost every gaming convention has indie games at them. It's a staple, because it's people who have startup games, startup companies, startup this, and they're trying to get recognized, and they go to these events and pay money so that they can have their exhibits at the convention. That's just how this works. Like, it's a staple. This is how this has been for a while now. It's no different than, you know, any other convention. So I expect to see indie games, okay? When I go to PAX, I'm looking for the stuff that I don't expect to see. I'm looking to be surprised. Oh, here's a preview of Bloodborne. Oh, here's a preview of Arkham Knight. Here's a preview of The Witcher 3. You know, that was what I was looking for from PAX. Why were these games, even the Order 1886, that game just came out. Why not have a station where you can play it? Like, I don't understand. Why were these games not at PAX? I don't understand, alright? Evolve might not have even been at PAX if Microsoft hadn't been there trying to fucking advertise their shit. That was the only reason why that game was there. Like, I don't understand. Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo had nothing new to show at PAX. This is the first time ever since 2012 I have ever been to PAX and this has occurred. I'm kind of shocked because I never expected this. I'm always expecting there to be a big show for PAX. Every single year I'm always expecting big things from the event, and this was probably the first year I was completely let down. I don't understand why, okay? Anything you had there, again, anything you had there that was new was stuff that's already been released. I've already played Battlefield Hardline and Halo 5. I know the games haven't come out yet, but they've already had previews for them available on Xbox and PlayStation. Alright, so it's nothing new. There was no reason for me to film that stuff, okay? Anything else was old. Anything, like, if you look, like, usually when you go to PAX, you can look in the sky, and they usually have the big, you know, display banners saying, oh, this is this studio, this is this studio. Usually 2K Games is there, you know? Usually Ubisoft is there. Can I tell you, one of the biggest insults of this PAX was that the lanyards, you know, you get the free lanyard so you can put your pass on. The biggest insult of this convention was the lanyard that they gave you. Here, I have it still. This fucking lanyard. I want you to take a look at the lanyard that they gave us, okay? If you can see it. I'm not sure if you can see. Right here. You see? Ubisoft? Guess what? Ubisoft wasn't even at PAX. Ubisoft had no games to show. There was no new Assassin's Creed. There was nothing. There was absolutely nothing from Ubisoft at PAX. Absolutely fucking nothing. I don't know if they're just not releasing many games this year. I mean, last year they had a whole bunch. You had Watch Dogs, Far Cry, 2 Assassin's Creed games. Ubisoft definitely had their hands full last year. But in terms of this year, all I know about is Assassin's Creed Victory, the Assassin's Creed game that's taking place in London. But why weren't they there? Did they not want to show footage of Assassin's Creed Victory yet? I have no idea. But for me, why have the fucking lanyards say Ubisoft on them if they're not even at the fucking event? Like, why don't you have someone who was actually there have their name on the lanyard so that they can advertise? Hell, why wasn't Microsoft's name on the fucking lanyard? They love to advertise, right? Why wasn't their name on the lanyard? It made no sense, man. There are so many games. I mean, 2014, I'll admit, there were some crappy games last year. You know, all the big games we were looking forward to in 2014. In some capacity, yes, they had some good redeeming aspects to them, but there were some aspects of those games, like Watch Dogs and Destiny and even Far Cry 4, which I already made a rant review on. There were just a lot of games in 2014 that were just disappointments. It just wasn't a great year for gaming. I even made my video that's still on my YouTube channel, which I'll link, was 2014 the worst year in gaming? Because I seriously think it was, and it just, again, I didn't play every single game in 2014 just because, I can't obviously do that anymore with playthroughs, but of the big ones that I was looking forward to that I played, they were very disappointing. 2015 doesn't look like that. I mean, sure, Evolve and the Order 1886, 2 games people were anticipating, fell short of expectations by most accounts. Again, I haven't played either of those games, but by most accounts, people have said that, which is why I'm kind of staying away from them. But, there are many other games coming out, like, multiple games coming out this year, way more than 2014. You've got games that might not even be announced until E3, games that might still be under wraps. You've got a lot of games, just off the top of my head. Bloodborne, Arkham Knight, Witcher 3, Just Cause 3, Halo 5, Metal Gear Solid 5, which actually just got a release date. You've got 7 games right there, and I know there's other games I'm missing. I just can't remember them all. But you could have chosen any. Why wasn't fucking Metal Gear Solid there? The release date for that game was just announced. Why wouldn't there be a closed door presentation of some level or some fucking demo or some shit? I don't care what it is. Why wasn't there any? I don't get it. How about Tom Clancy's The Division? How about that game? What the? I think Ghost Recon was at PAX 2012, wasn't it? Like this didn't even feel like PAX. Like I felt like I went to like a MagFest, where you go and you've got, it's a low key event. It's not captured by the media. It's not a media event. This is a media event. I don't understand. I just don't understand what happened to PAX East. Can someone tell me? Does anyone know if there were controversies? Did these game developers basically say, okay, people are filming our content, putting it on YouTube and spoiling it? We don't really like this. Do you think we can skip this year? But if that's the case, wouldn't they be skipping PAX Prime, the other PAX events, other, I don't know, GDC possibly? I don't know, like any event where they're gonna unveil new games, new technology, new whatever, there's always the risk of it being leaked to the public. People are leaking shit all the time. People are always blowing the whistle on fucking stuff that's not supposed to be shown. So, I don't get it. I don't understand why this year nobody went to PAX. Why were there no game developers? This event just felt so empty. Like, I feel robbed. I literally feel like I was robbed from this event. Other than meeting a few people that I knew from YouTube, seeing the cool cosplayers, and sitting through one panel that was kind of interesting, there was really nothing at this event that was redeemable. The only thing, and I'll say this, the only thing that made up for this event, which wasn't even the event, my friend actually ran into the YouTuber, Markiplier, which I'm sure many of you might know. He's a big YouTuber. I don't really know him, but I know he does kind of like horror game kind of stuff. We ran into him randomly yesterday, and I took a picture of him and my friend Jack. I just actually posted it on Twitter, and I actually sent it to Markiplier's Twitter account to see if he'd retweet it. But yeah, I was going to take the thing is, I didn't know who he was at the time, so I didn't think to take a video. I could have taken a video, maybe asked to interview him. That might have been a cool video to put up, but unfortunately I didn't do that. That probably would have been like the only redeeming footage from PAX, which is sad. The fact that I have to interview a big YouTuber in order for any of my PAX footage to be actually acceptable is just, it's fucking asinine and ludicrous. It's just stupid. Every year, I have the complex of not having enough time to see what I want. Every year, I'm like, oh, there's this game, and there's this game, and there's this game. There's too many games at PAX. I'm not sure what I should be filming. What do you think? What do you think? I never know what to film because there's always too much stuff to film. There's always too many lines to stand in for games to play and to watch and to see behind the scenes. Now, this year, it was the opposite. It was like, oh shit, I have so much free time because there's nothing to fucking film. Like, oh my god, I just don't understand, man. Like, even if you're going not to film it, if you just want to watch the games or play the new games, like, fuck, man. Like, this must have been disappointing to a lot of people, and that's why I'm making this video. Did anyone feel disappointed by this event? Like, yeah, obviously, if you went to the event to see indie games and to cosplay and to do all the things that I mentioned at the beginning, then you probably don't care. You probably went to this event and you were like, alright, well, this is what I always do at PAX, and, I don't really go for the new games. That's fine. I'm not trying to say PAX has to be some giant E3 media event, because that's not what it is. But the fact that it has had a track record for many years for having big game companies come to it, I expect that. When I buy that ticket, that's what I expect from this event, and I don't expect anything less. Okay? It's almost like buying a video game, maybe the next Call of Duty, and there's no multiplayer for the next Call of Duty. I pay $60 for the next Call of Duty expecting that there's going to be multiplayer because it's a staple of the game. Just like for PAX, having these media companies, these game developers, that's a staple of the event. It's just become a staple of the fucking event. Alright, I don't know why they would downgrade the event from what it used to be. It makes no sense. And I'm just so frustrated that I had to go to this event, walk around, and feel this weight of disappointment all fucking day long with my friend. It was a horrible, horrible, horrible experience to have to feel that. And again, other than meeting a few YouTubers, that was pretty much the highlight of our experience at PAX. And I know I'm sorry to have to say that, but that is the 100% God-honest truth. I honestly cannot fucking believe why this decision was made. I don't know who made this decision. I don't know if anyone has any... I've tried. Like I said, I tried Googling this. Me and my friend Jack, we sat down, we went on the computer, and we tried to find the reason. We tried to Google and find articles why this fucking happened. Nothing. There's one article on IGN that says Sony and Nintendo didn't go, but it doesn't fucking say why. All they did was cop out with some PR fucking statement, and that was it. Oh, that was it. They basically granted themselves amnesty and said, we're done. We're reserving ourselves from this. Alright, this video is about to run over. I apologize that it's so long. Thank you guys if you are sticking in with the video. I do appreciate it. I know my videos can go long. I just needed to get this off my chest because it's frustrating when stuff like this happens. It's not fair. It's really not. When I buy this, again, like I said, when I buy this ticket, I expect certain things. And, you know, when it doesn't happen, it ruins my experience. Alright? It really does. So, here's hoping that next year it's different. I know that when the date that the PAX falls on every year is different. If it's a even number year, I believe it's in April. If it's an odd number year, it's in March. So since this is 2015, it was in March. Next year, I'm gonna go to it again in April. Here's hoping that there's gonna actually be people at the event, because let me tell you, if I go again next year and there's nothing like this year, I think I'm done with PAX. I think I'm pretty much gonna throw in the towel and I'm gonna stop, because honestly, I cannot keep going to this fucking event and have this happening. Like, I go for a particular reason. I like to see the new games. I'm a gamer. I like to get caught up and see exclusive information on games that I want to play. That's the reason I go to this event, okay? And like I said, it's fine if you go to the convention for other events, but I have a reason that I go, and it's pretty much being taken away from me. Imagine if they didn't allow cosplayers at PAX all of a sudden. Imagine if they just took away all the indie stuff. How would people feel? Like, that's pretty much what I'm feeling right now. And it's frustrating. I don't know why it's happening, and it's stupid. It needs to stop. I don't know why this fucking happened. I don't know why these game developers just all of a sudden were like, oh, you know, we don't want to show anything. We want to wait till E3 or whatever fucking game conference they're waiting for. You know, how about Uncharted 4? Sony was not at this freaking thing at all, people. Alright, I'm going to stop. 28 minutes, I think that's good. I'm way over my time at this rate. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments, or if you have any inside information or any knowledge of this, any thoughts at all, leave them on the video. I like to read them, and, you know, as long as it's constructive criticism and just thoughtful material, yes, I enjoy that kind of stuff. I like to see it. And, yeah, you can rate the video, thumb it up, helps me out, and, you know, all that great stuff. Alright, thanks, guys. See you later. For new content, tonight I'll be uploading a new Walking Dead review, because it's Walking Dead Day today. And, yeah, hopefully next year, when we have PAX East, it won't be a fucking failure. Thanks, guys. See you later.